Of course you're gonna fall if I put you right there. So that just means I gotta bring you over a little bit more. Just gotta bring you up. Whoop. Ow. Just blinding myself. I'm gonna have to put you on the charger too. Let's go ahead and put you on the charger first. Maybe I should put y'all elsewhere. That way I can see. Hey, how are you doing? Are you all right? Yeah, doing okay? So, trying to get this thing right. All right, that should work for, I guess, now. Be a little bit better if y'all were up some. World's still on fire. Yeah, it's gonna continue to be that way until we actually do something, and it kind of starts with having an actual plan, and that also just kind of having an actual plan just kind of includes being able to afford any type of revolution. I don't like the fact, like, lately I have been getting a lot more views. Like, I've checked the analytics, and more my views are coming from the state in which I reside. I don't like that. But outside of the world being on fire, you learn anything new? Anything interesting going on? I think this is probably, my light is probably dying. Let me see. Should probably get another light source in here. Oh, that's what's up. Today I just finished going through all the videos on the page and kind of sorting them into playlists. So, there's that. Being outside of that, but I definitely appreciate you for being around since then. I got a lot of people that have been following since like March or even February of last year, but they're just like AOLs. So. Godly, I did it again. No, it always seems like that. It always seems like that at first. Like, if you do the appropriate things, like, because TikTok's, of course, their algorithm is just different. So there are certain things that have to be done, otherwise it'll change dramatically. While at that same point in time, it seems that way, but then TikTok does TikTok things and restricts the videos usually before they get to 1,000 views. So then it's a fight and a struggle to get anything more than 1,000 views. That's usually TikTok's motive. YouTube doesn't do stuff like that. That's why, the main task is just YouTubing videos either before people go to sleep and or just in the background throughout the day. Like even if you're about to leave the house, even if you don't have a pet, but that's the type of stuff that eventually will be on the YouTube accounts, things that you can play without you having to pay attention to, or things your animals can pay attention to. That's kind of the essence of that. That's why it's passive income, but Dang, I just realized I don't have my... That's alright, I'll grab it in a second. Alright, I'm gonna ask Babs to grab it for me. If y'all want to, y'all can jump in the box. Please feel free. That way we can have natural conversations. Otherwise, if you have a question, of course I'll answer. But outside of that, I won't be on here specifically to talk about stuff and things. Sometimes I definitely get going off on tangents though, or not even just tangents, but just I get deep into lore stuff or whatnot. There's a lot of people that have been, and then when it comes down to the whole paying attention thing, it seems as though people like the idea, like the concept behind it. They don't actually want to do it. And it's weird because that's also just they can, because Babs was saying this earlier, they'd be like, oh, Gen Z is lazy or etc. But with the easiest job in the world, nobody wants to do it. Not to say nobody, because I definitely need to digress, because there's definitely people who do it. There's definitely people who understand and comprehend it. But the majority, they don't want to do it. There's no willingness to actually do something for realistic change. It has to be something that's going to be ignorant, that puts people in risk first and foremost before it puts a solution on the table. What you mean it's real manifesting? I might have missed a comment because I am scrolling over here on YouTube trying to find something mind-numbing for me to play in the background. So I apologize if I did. Babs? I forgot to restrict this. I forgot to restrict this live. Babs? May I get that vape? Thank you. I left it on the bed thing. Coach R only has the bad versions, like the lame episodes of Squidbillies. Yeah, okay, so the sites are up right now. Well, no, not yours. The other one. I just left it on the thing. So, and I do apologize, y'all. Because of the updates that I had to do to Grant One and all, that kind of takes away from Replet's excess funds or just the funds that we having sitting in Replet, and because the sites, of course, they cost money to run, so. That's kind of why the sites are not working right now. They're not down, but they're not working right now, and that just got to put a little bit more money in it, man. That's all. And so I just gotta, you know, life this that to the third, move some things around, and then be able to do that. And because I was trying to use the site like Grant One and all earlier today, since we got the registration. Um, Yeah, since we got the registration, I apologize, I was just reading your last comment. Since we got the registration from sam.gov and that's verified, I was trying to get into the site earlier so I could start applying for grants. And I noticed it would not, like Grant One and all, wasn't updating my profile when I was trying to save it. So I was like, so they're not going to let me get away with trying to use the site for my benefit without me paying them again. And it's half bad, half like it sucks, but it's also kind of like is what it is, because then that just creates receipt information for me to then plug into the site, and also just kind of have proof of expense, and it's just adding on to the profit and loss like expense report sheet. So it is what it is. Eventually they will be consistently up though, but I do apologize. Y'all just bear with me on the sites for right now. Y'all just bear with me. So I've also been trying to get these videos to the laptop so I can put the long form content together to update the YouTube page, but that's just been a total hassle, like an unnecessary hassle. As I just really have to get YouTube Premium and then download the videos and then just do it that way from the laptop. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. It does take a little bit of time. I mean, certain things do. Paiding Attention Productions, LLC, that takes time. Paying attention on its own, that doesn't take time. That takes no type of time whatsoever. That just takes people getting, just caring in the slightest, you know? Not even about other people, just about themselves. She came in here and she handed me, let me hit this off though. I mean, it's only hard to do when you gotta keep putting the blame off on everything or things around you. That's the only time that it's hard to do, because the moment that you can just be like, like the moment you can start accepting some accountability for the things that are going on around you, and or the things that you are allowing to go on around you, then you start being able to be in more of control of those things. But it's not You're not wrong. I'm not saying this to say what you're saying is wrong, but I'm saying this just to say, like, that's why it's hard to do. People are so, like, hardwired to point blame outside of themselves and make that the problem. So when you do stuff like that and then you go about trying to fix or correct something, then when the problem is here, but you say the problem is there, and then you go out to fix that problem, you're never actually going to address any of the issues. So, that's kind of what it is. And it's not that we're stupid. Like, that's the honest part of it. Like, it's not a thing that people are asleep. It's a thing that we are stupid. That is the honest, just bottom line of it. Saying that people are asleep is just being very polite. It's being very just like pandering or meandering. One of those two words. More so, maybe I'll have to just look into meandering again. But it's very much pandering. It's just being polite. Just being, oh, well, you're not the brightest. Like that's basically what that means. That's basically, because there's no way they can in your face and be like, yo, okay, so y'all can sit there and say the rich, like, eat the rich, while they're sitting there laughing, literally, because they're literally got farms to produce children and babies for them to go on and then consume. Then eat the rich, ha ha, we're feeding y'all each other, and y'all sitting there don't even eat us, ha ha. So no. And that is one of the biggest, like, worst comprehensions or understandings of things in the entirety of the world. The system was built to make it hard to do the things need, in turn to make it take long and cause people to give up. That is not true. That has never been true. That's like, it's again, I always relay it to a game when I'm talking about it, but because the best way that I can really put it is just like, if you don't know how to play chess and you're playing against the chess master and you just keep playing against them, eventually you'll pick up a thing or two. But how, like, you think you're gonna win and you don't even know the rules? That's not how that works. And when they have the rules there for you, but it's a thing that you refuse to pick them up, to read them and actually digest them, or you allow other people to dictate those rules to you, as we do with things like religion. You go to church and have somebody interpret how they perceive these words to be, so then for you to take some type of understanding away from their interpretation, not your understanding, not your comprehension. Preach from their understanding and comprehension from the same words that you could clearly read yourself. But that's where that comes from. So you have all these interpretations from all these different people about what the rules are, how the rules are, this, that, to the third. These people, oh, they're older than you. They just know better. They have more. No, the fuck they don't. Understanding does not have an age limit. Understanding, wisdom, knowledge, they do not correlate with age. Comprehension, that does not correlate with age. But a lot of people have that mindset and that barrier that it does. So when they interpret this, that, to the third to you, all these different rules to you, you put that barrier up. Just like if you're an ant on a paper, somebody draws a circle around you and you walk up to it, you put that barrier up in your head. No matter how, just because I interpreted it, this line is still just as flat as the paper. You refuse to cross it. That's on you. That's an us thing. That's why the bottom line is we're stupid. It's not a thing that people are sleep. We're dumb. We refuse to do things any differently because we believe that we know better. But nobody wants to accept the fact we're stupid. All we know is we don't know nothing. Our perception has a lot to do with the reason that we're stupid. Even when it comes down to things, we can just, oh, black's not a color. We said that, we made that a thing in a statement before we had things like Vanta Black. There's so much shit that has changed. Even when it comes down to science, people can be like, oh, well, it's the science backs it up. Science constantly is changing and evolving because scientists are consistently and constantly wrong. At what point do we not, like, what the fuck? Please make this make sense. When something at a certain point, when logic breaks and you overcomplicate something, more than likely you're wrong. Because things don't work that way. Things are not that complicated. Our perception overcomplicates them. Then you have situations where we can grow up in an environment where they teach you this history, that history, another history, this history. But at the end of the day, the collective, it shows that we learned nothing from it. For most of us, anyway. But, I digress. We need to relearn a lot of different things, but the place that it starts is with the things that we consumed while we were growing up. Whatever media you were consuming and watching while you were growing up, that's the media you need to be consuming now. I was trying to tell people this like in 2023 and 2024, that those are the things you have to go back and look at those things, especially with your adult eyes, because you're going to be able to peep certain things that you did not peep while you were younger. And part of anything and everything they've ever done, they've always told us. They've always told us. They have to. The way that they tell us, that's up for debate. But they've always told us. Is it choice or is it design? What you mean? Go. Yeah, give me a little bit more detail about your question. Is it choice or is it design? Oh my God! I almost knocked y'all out because I was gonna scroll up. All history is wrong. We need to relearn everything. Is it choice or is it design? Yeah, those seem like separate comments or statements. Wait for them to. I'm still waiting for them to respond, but I'll just finish off and say what I was basically. You gotta rewatch the things that you were watching when you were younger, so you can go over those subconscious deals, the subliminal messages that they were sitting there putting into the program, because they told us everything. Oh, that's a us thing. Oh, that's a us thing. Oh my God, that is a us thing. We strive for comfort. That's usually the reasoning behind it. That's usually the problem for it. We strive for comfort, and when it comes down to being human, if there's something that we don't really understand or have an explanation for, then there's an uncomfortability factor that always will lie within that thing or within that region. So that's kind of where that comes from. If there's something, especially mixed with our perception. Oh goodness, yes, that is an us thing. It's not a thing that things are just inherently just dumb or stupid. That we do that. We do that by overcomplicating things because we just believe that we're just so superior. We just know better than anything and everything, even though we're consistently and constantly proven wrong about the things that we believe and we hold to be true. So, that's that's a us thing. That's a us thing. And you want something so bad to be the case. Like, yeah, we like, mind you, a lot of people talk about things casually. And when I say people talk about things casually, I'm talking about like they talk casually about forming their own delusions for them to comfortably walk around in reality. A lot of people talk about that. And that is like one of the strangest things to me, because I told y'all I'm labeled. I have on my diagnosis, one of them says schizophrenic. I have dissociative identity disorder. I have PTSD. I have OCD. One of the major things I can never do is just walk around in my own delusions. I cannot form my own delusions and then just walk around in them. I have to take reality into account and then walk around based off of the reality of the situation or environment that I'm in. But neurotypical people will not only so casually sit there and talk about like mental health ailments that inflict them, while also at that same time so casually being able to walk around forming delusions as they walk through reality. And part of that is them thinking that they have some type of mental health affliction. And I'd be like, mm, and you wonder what's wrong. Oh, people are just desensitized. People just don't care. No, y'all made it commonplace and common practice for the people that y'all consider to be sane to be the people that truly need to be the ones sitting in a mental home. That's kind of what happened there. Because I was telling you, like I said, they labeled me schizophrenic. I was telling y'all, I'm like, I'm not crazy. The reason they labeled me for a reason, because I'm telling y'all the truth. Way before any of the information came out so publicly in the way that it did. For y'all to now know some of the truth. Y'all still are really paying attention because y'all ignored a whole bunch of other stuff. But I digress on that as well. And it's funny because like it got to a certain point, and mind you, some of the stuff that I say, it cringes myself when I say certain things. But I don't say certain things because like I'm trying to toot my own horn or anything like that. I say them because they're true. I say them because even without me doing a whole, like I don't have to say things for them to be perceived, if that makes sense. Like, and again, and I appreciate you for saying that, but I was saying this because like I did used to like introduce myself when I was meeting new people. I'd be like, hey, my name's KC. You can call me Bam. I'm the realest nigga you'll ever meet. And I left it at that. That's basically how I used to introduce myself to people. And I don't really introduce myself to people that way anymore because I just don't like meet people. I don't, my actual circle of like meeting people, it doesn't grow anymore for real. I don't go on my way to expand that. So, but I say the stuff that I say, not for people to even try to be like, oh, wow, that's really real. I say the things that I say because like, it's really easy to fix things. And this has been something I've been saying since I was like really little. Not to say like, oh, 9, 8 years old. But by the time I was 13 and 14 years old, I was like, oh, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to understand what happened. I'm starting to figure out where things started going wrong. That's why like even have playlists. One of them's Unfiltered Honesty. One of them's called Informed Opinions. In those playlists, like, because also before Paiding Attention started and before a lot of people started following me, I said, y'all might want to check my older content before y'all just rush in to follow me, because I say a lot of different things, and things that I say hold truth within them. So there's going to be a lot of things that upset people that I say, but you, one, need to listen to everything that I said, especially before you respond, or two, just fucking block me. Just fucking block me, because I'm still end up saying the same type of shit. Like, my opinion changes, but usually only based off of the presentation of new information. Without the presentation of new information, you'd be hard pressed for my opinion to change. But I told people, I was like, go watch that old content, because before y'all try to do anything and start thinking that I'm this way, or I support these people, or no, I done told y'all everything. I'm a very like open book. What up, Jarrett? But I'm very much an open book. So like, there's like, not a character. This is not a facade. Like, we're doing this as me being who I am. So, I was like, I'll let y'all know. Hey, how you doing? You doing all right today? But I'm just letting them know, like, especially if anybody's a new follower of mine or just been following for a while, that y'all should know, I doing this as myself, as not being a character or anything of that nature. So, and mind you, if y'all want to cancel me, y'all can, because I've said a lot of different things. None of the stuff really cancelable if you actually listen to what I'm saying, but definitely put you in your feelings, especially if you're not listening, because I've said fuck the military, I've said fuck nurses, I've said fuck a lot of different government type things. I've said fuck gangs. I've gone like off on a tangent. I went like a whole week just firing off, just like foul. Because again, they gave us the information about Epstein back in 2023. That also means they gave us the information about Trump back in 2023. So yeah, I'm what y'all mean? Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all put what? Y'all put a pedophile? Oh, this nigga talking about forming oligarchies, and y'all niggas ain't doing shit. Oh, okay. Got it. Y'all niggas must be pedophiles too. Like, I have said a bunch of different shit. I have told y'all, when it comes down to things like, hey, not that I can't comprehend or understand when it comes down to things like, oh, the Jewish people, the Holocaust, etc. Don't play with me though. I told y'all I have whole Kanye. I have whole ass Kanye about that shit before. But the issue, not really the issue. I just do it with actual sense, because I don't do it from a perspective of like, ooh, Hitler's great. I do it from a perspective of, you trying to say that the Holocaust was bad when it only lasted 4 motherfucking years? But slavery lasted 256 bare minimum. How? Make this make sense to me. The Holocaust was going on, and they went over there and fought a war in another country and immediately freed them. In our own country, they won, and then they left us, and then we celebrate things like Juneteenth. But you want me to throw all of my sentiments or all of my empathy and sympathy towards the hot boy? Fuck you. Because that means you're completely glossing over anything my ancestors went through. And what's the difference? Because at any other point in time, 256 years always outweighs 4. Or the quantity, the number 256 always outweighs the number 4. But I digress. Because it's not that I can't sympathize or I can't empathize. But if you ever try to make it seem like your shit, oh, well, it's, yeah, you might not want to talk to me about that shit. If you want to talk to me about it, though, like, we can talk about it. I'm totally, like, I'm still a regular person, y'all. There's just certain shit, like, we're not going to make it seem like it was the worst thing in human history. We're not doing that. We not gonna sit there and pretend like that. But that's how it's always shaped up. That's how it's always presented. That's why I tell people though, like, go check about me first before you just try to jump the ship and be like, oh, he said something about this. That was no. Go find out who I am first, because I might have said something that would really rub you the wrong way, especially if you're not going to listen to what I'm saying. Excuse me. I mean, you don't have to control the masses when the masses are just going to control themselves. That's like, I made a video and I made an analogy. Like, if I'm behind the scenes, if I control the world, like, it's not a thing that I have to pull. Like, I have to be in charge of all the strings, because I can jiggle one string and then somebody that's watching it will interpret it as dancing. And that's basically, that's my job complete. It's when I tell y'all, we make things complicated. We overcomplicate things. This is not a thing that things are complicated. So if you have that understanding and you can just really perceive that, just be like, okay, we make things complicated. We make things Think about how you would control the world if you were a shadow government or you were behind the scenes. Even if you were just doing it as a single entity, it's not that complicated. It's not that hard. The moment you start, you hit a snag and you're like, well, dang, this would seem, no. You're thinking too hard. You are thinking too hard. Stop thinking about it. Leave that thought alone for a second. Then revisit it later. You'll have the idea. You'll be like, oh, that's how they do that. That's how I would do that. That's what would, yeah. If I wanted to fuck everybody over, that's what would make sense. Then all the things that they start unraveling. They start just being like, oh, got it, okay. That is not how. That's how your government does it. That's how the Illuminati does it. That's how if you want to be in control of people, especially at the scale that we have to be in control of people, and you ensure that the good majority of them are actually, like, when it comes down to intelligence, literally they are stupid. Like, there is no, oh, we're just all collectively. Now, I'm not saying that when I'm saying this right here. No, there are people on our planet that are just literally out of our collective. They are dumb. They are stupid. And when you have a good majority of those that outweigh the actual intelligence or the intellectuals of the group, well, yeah, y'all gonna have a hard time actually getting yourselves out of whatever the fuck I'm about to do to you, because you're literally just not smart enough to figure the shit out. You're not smart enough to actually listen to anybody that's really going to help or assist you, because they give us things like the allegory for, again, let's say, I'm gonna just say, for argument's sake, let's say Jesus is not real, because this is the part that I am arguing right now. And not really that it's an argument, because it's something I kind of already know, but the Bible is an allegory. The moment that we can start huh? Yeah. Are you okay?
Just heard you say something, and I thought you might have said my name, but I was like, maybe not.
Thank you though for checking on me. The Bible is an allegory, right? So when it comes down to things like Jesus, right? Jesus could have been the best person on the planet. Could have been trying to lead people to the light, etc. The allegory, it's an allegory. You could be the best person on the planet. You could be trying to help people out to the best of your abilities. But at the end of the day, if you got enough dumbasses, nigga, they will just straight crucify you. That's one of the boiling points that you can get from that analogy, from the death of Jesus. That's one of the things you can learn from that. He was trying to lead people to higher consciousness, but you don't, like, that's part of the issue with, again, that the whole thing. The Bible is an allegory. The Bible itself would lead you to higher consciousness. But when you look at the Bible as a factual piece of history, and then you get interpretations of the Bible from this dumbass and that dumbass and this other dumbass over there, what you think you're going to understand? What you think you're going to comprehend? If you're in class and you're not doing that well, you're going to have the nigga with the worst grade in the class trying to teach you? Because that's what happens with religion, which are literal cults. That's what they are. But we, in overcomplicating everything, oh no, it makes sense to call that a religion when it's clearly a cult, when it's evident. When they start teaching you things that go against human growth, that this ain't a cult? No, it's a religion because these are my beliefs. These are my faith. Oh, you can't question my belief. Can't question your belief. That is a cult. If I cannot question your beliefs, you do not understand your beliefs. If you do not understand your beliefs, you don't fucking believe in that shit then. There's no way. That's a contradiction. Starburst, stop making those fucking commercials a long time ago. How do you cope with something that, like, this is all you've known? There are people, their whole life is the church. Their whole life is a cult. It's the same thing. Like, again, have y'all ever seen, because there's YouTubes, I believe there might have been a TV show, but there was one thing, it's called Breaking Amish. We just don't have things called breaking Christianity, breaking Judaism, breaking Muslim or Buddhism. We don't have those things because they're looked at and oh, nope, that's a religion. That's a religion. Because that's what makes sense. But you wonder why Egypt had the longest standing civilization out of any other nation that's ever graced the face of the earth to our knowledge. You think their religion was set up like any of our cults today? When we look back at the past and the things that they did and the things that they were doing, the people that were at the heads of whatever their religious entities were, these people were gifted in their fields. It wasn't a thing that these people were just, you read that book, you're appointed, you're in charge of all these people. No. You showed me. I done seen. You're better than everybody at this. This is why you're the guy now for this specific thing. Oh, okay. And then as stories go on, as legend goes on, you're the god of this shit now. Because without you even doing all the shit that you were doing in this field, we wouldn't have advanced it all the way to where we are now. So now, as years have gone on and the story's been told, you're a god. That's how it works with all of that. But there's a range. Because all of these people are teachers. All of these people are inventors. All these people are people that have helped advance society. This is why they had this, that, to the third. Because even when you look at, they were doing things that we just don't understand. They were taking people's organs out. There's math and this, that, to the third was so good. How does stuff like that happen? That happens when you're actually inclined to support human growth, when you're actually willing to listen to somebody who has a differing opinion and actually test it out. Because otherwise, how do they know this, that, to the third? Oh, some other species came down and then told them this, that, to the... No. You had a bunch of people. You had thoughts and opinions. And you had people being able to prove thoughts and opinions. So, okay. Well, we were rocking with this. What you got? Because we'll hear you out. It sounds sensible. If you can prove it, nigga, you already know. That shit's out the window. Boom, you done proved it. This is what we're rocking with now. Now we're able to build things like fucking pyramids that last longer than any other man-made structure on the planet. But if I'm not doing this, if I heavily criticize every single scientific discovery, every single scientific opinion that happens to the point where I'm letting you know, no, this is the only thing that we know, and I have no way to prove it. It's just a theory. But your theory could be more sound than this one, but I won't hear it out. I won't listen to it. Then I'm going against human growth and development. That's the reality of these things. But it's our perception. It's how we let people interpret things to us, and then how we place our problems outside of ourselves, and even at times our solutions, because that's part of the reason you have so many cults that are so rampant. Because when the solution to your problems can be something outside of yourself, you never have to work on anything truly about yourself. Especially, and then mind y'all, when it comes down to Christianity, there are two completely different forms. You have the part that they don't like talking about, where you had the super Christians of the Old Testament, that version of the Bible. That part they do not like talking about at all. Because there was no forgiveness in that part of the Bible. You couldn't just come as you are. You had to fold. You had to do this, that, to the third, no matter what your skin tone was. The only difference in the Old Testament is, depending on your skin tone, if you were an Alban, guess what? You was in control of some shit. The way that they twisted the wordings that were supposed to be, mind you, just a children's story in the first place. But because they were able to twist the wording, they not only were able to put it into a position for Alban people to then just be like, yes, I as my God-given right, I own slaves. I'm supposed to own slaves. But they were teaching and brainwashing trenders to grow up literally to the point where the same religion they were using to brainwash them, they then pulled a chapter off and made their own congregation from. But we don't talk about this. That's not something people think about. That it just is what it is. It's one of the most successful cults in the world. But it's just glossed over. But my point in saying all of this, and we're slaves in our own minds, because we put up that mentality. We drew that circle around ourselves, and we stay within those confines. But I digress on that point for now, because when it comes down to the different sections of the Bible, you have one that had no forgiveness. These are your slaves. They should obey you. But if you were to do something wrong, you need to be doing this, that, to the third to make up for it. You need to make sacrifices, this, that. Old Testament, New Testament. Oh, just ask for forgiveness. Now you don't have to change at all. Now, guess what? You was a slave owner. You was a slave. Listen, all that shit, you mad about it? Calm down. Relax. Let it go. Don't not learn from it, not do anything about it. No. Calm down. Relax. Let it go. Hey, you don't even really gotta ask the Lord for forgiveness. The Lord will forgive you. Oh, you got problems, you got issues, put it in the Lord's hands. You don't have to do shit about your situation because the Lord has you. Part of the lesson that was supposed to be taught from the Bible is that God is a dick. God is an asshole. You can't put nothing in God's hands unless you're going to try to be doing some type of deal where he's more than likely going to take something from you. Like, in what way, shape, or form, and because people have this mixed up, again, Bible being an allegory. God is everything. That's one of the things I was supposed to be learned from reading the Bible. God is everything. New, old, it doesn't matter. This thing, this is a piece of us. This is a portion of God right here. God is everything, okay? Let's understand that from the Bible. That's one of the things we were supposed to learn from the Bible. That's one of the main allegories. And the rest of the stuff in the Bible, from God being like, God, smite them, smite this, that, to the third. God made Adam and Eve in making things. God is already everything. God made these creatures in his image, mind you. God, people be like, oh, well, so God should have already known that he did. He did, because God made him in his image. God is a dick. God is an asshole. This is the reason God created Jesus, because out of everything that God did, he was like, you know what? Okay. I know I'm fucked up, right? I know I'm fucked up, but there's no way I'm just that fucked up. Like I know for a fact I can put together a version of me that should be able to prove that I can be good. I can be dope. I can be a good person. I can be a really cool guy. So God pieced together the best versions of ourselves, and that was Jesus. It's not a thing. God and Jesus are the same. God is everything. Jesus was the best out of our everything. That is what was supposed to be learned in reading the Bible. And one of the main facts, God is everything. And hey, how are you doing? God is everything. Made Jesus to prove to himself, I can be good. There has to be some good in me, because otherwise I have to destroy. I just got to get rid of everything, because this is fucked up. What I have going on down there, it's awful. So boom, put Jesus down there. Jesus is down there. Look, I'm down there because I'm God. I'm everything. But the rest of me down there is not the best of me. And the best of me is tempting Jesus with this, tempting Jesus with that. I'm sitting there as God, like, am I going to break? Like, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, like, nigga, goddamn. I hope I'm good down, because I'm jealous. I'm envious. I'm a lot of different things as God up here looking down on Jesus and the rest of me. So am I going to break? Oh, fuck, I just killed him. But he stayed true to the best of us to the end. I'm bringing that nigga back. Fuck that. That's crazy. I'm bringing that nigga. He stayed the best of us. Even though I fucking killed him. We got together and fucking killed him, and he still was just like, so I know there's good in me. So I can't just get rid of everything, because that solidified it right there for me. That lets me know right there that no matter how many people I put on this motherfucking planet, no matter how many of me ends up populating, there's a chance that one of me walking around is going to be better than the rest. Going to be the best. That's the story of Jesus. That was Jesus's life. That's what children from reading the Bible were supposed to learn. You're telling me everything is God? Oh, and I'm supposed to be the best of us? That makes sense. I'm not supposed to be part of the worst of us. I'm supposed to be the best of us? That makes sense. Because now when I ask you, where the fuck does evil come from? Oh, well, goddamn. It comes from us. Because everything is God. So if there's evil in the world, that means that we're the ones that are allowing it in. Because we're not being the best of us. But you let this idiot, this dickhead, this pedophile, that pedophile teach you what the fuck the Bible says, right? Because that makes sense. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta pee. And again, if any of y'all want to jump in the box or the live, feel free. Like, y'all should know I'm not like an asshole or dick or nothing, but I digress. I'll be right. Golly. Oh my God. I gotta do a lot to get back in my little seat. Only because I pulled this up fairly. Okay, yeah, that works out fine. If you want to jump in the box, jump in the box. No, I'm all for it. Wow, I am honestly surprised that they are just now hitting me with the little "Are you still like live" thing. Let me turn my volume up just to make sure. Excuse me. Well, yeah, that's just those are my opinions. Those are my opinions on the Bible. Here, look. I'll just hmm. Hmm. Okay, I thought I knew what I was doing, but clearly it has been a while. Um, oh wait, box. Nope, wrong thing. All right, this thing. There we go. Phoenix, you know you're more than welcome to come up as well.
Ah,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. This has
I
been.
love watching your stuff, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'll
I've
be.
uh, I've messaged you a few times. I'm the nurse practitioner chick around Kansas City.
Oh yes, that's okay.
This is the first time I've ever seen you live.
Yeah, honestly, like I do seldom get on live, especially on TikTok. Well, I'm saying like especially on TikTok. I seldom get on live. I'm supposed to be getting on live more often on YouTube than on TikTok, but because we have so many people over here, I still just jump on here every now and again.
Aha. Yeah, I don't usually get on live, but I've been watching you for a minute now, and it's good stuff. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. And I really like y'all, if you have any mental health issues, please, like, I believe you should contact Ames. What do you prefer to be called?
Hi. Look, there I
Hey,
am. Hey, my name's Amy.
Amy,
Yeah,
okay, y'all should definitely reach out to Amy. I believe that the way that she's going about addressing mental health is the way that it should be done from the jump, as opposed to you talking to somebody and then them just being like, especially after one time, people will talk to people as far as getting diagnosed one time, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, this is what you have. You want some pills?" And that's not the way that that should be done. So y'all should definitely reach out to Amy.
it's really not. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. No, that's
Oh, no
definitely not the
problem.
way.
Stepbrother in the background.
Oh,
Hey, see
yeah.
that?
My where was there? And that's
Oh,
actually a rug, or not a rug. It's a one of those little throw blankets.
that's
My husband's
awesome.
brother gave it to us, and we thought it was so funny. We hung it up on the wall.
That is awesome, though. Step Brothers is a great movie.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
So yeah, I gotta get some more stuff like that and really fill out my little area in here. Right now it's still fairly bland. Like I don't even have appropriate lighting. I'm using like a headlamp thing right now.
What is that picture behind you of? It looks neat.
This is
Is it a
a
black light deal?
picture. It's just like of hold on, let me turn the light on. Maybe it'll it's just like of some lizards in like a forest backgroundy type
Oh,
area. I had a chameleon, but she passed away last year. So eventually I'm gonna print out some of her pictures and then like put them along the
that's cool.
bottom and top and stuff. So
That's a
that's
cool
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, that was just to commemorate her because that was my first time getting a chameleon or having a chameleon, and I really just like it. It really like I'm diagnosed. Like on my paperwork, it says that I'm schizophrenic, but
Hmm.
like as you were saying, like I'm diagnosed schizophrenic versus I'm
Right.
schizophrenic, two different things.
Very
Like,
different.
Left it right
um,
in the oven for a little bit too long, but it should be like tasty.
Okay, thank you, Babs. But I'm diagnosed schizophrenic, but like really, I just got a heavy touch of like tism, and having the chameleon, that really, oh my God, that itched a spot I didn't know I needed scratch because I would just sit in front of her cage and just like literally crisscross applesauce, just sitting there, just like,
I know someone who does that with the snake. Their snake is their big grounding
see,
thing. Just
yeah,
sit there with the snake all the time. That's really cool. How long did
yes.
you have the chameleon?
Oh my goodness. It was a whole ordeal, man. I had her for maybe like 3 or 4 months in total, like actually having her. But when we bought her, there was something wrong with her eye. So we had to take her back. And when we took her back, they took her to the vet. And when they took her to the vet, they kept her for like 3 months. And when I like tried to get her or even tried to talk to her, like the PetSmart about her or anything, one of the first things they suggested to me was like they were like, "Hey, maybe you should just get a different chameleon." And I just spent 13 days at home with this chameleon, so
Like what?
right,
What
I'm
kind of
like,
a
you
thing
tell,
is that to say?
right, I'm like, you think, and mind you, I am very
Just
much
like fuck your
myself,
pet, man.
like. Yeah, and I'm very much myself even when I'm not online. So when they told me that, I'm like, oh, okay, so you telling me you take a puppy home for almost 2 weeks and bond with it, then you got to take it to the vet. You cool with the vet looking at you? Hey, just pick a different puppy.
Just like that one's no good.
So, but they kept her for like 3 months, and then we finally got her, and then got her home, and then I had her for about 4 months, and she just, man, I having a chameleon. There are certain things I wasn't doing as a chameleon pet owner, and like her mealworms were supposed to be eating specific things. That way, that would transition over to her diet. And I was not aware of these things. So, like, even though I'm sitting there in front of her and observing her every day, like she was slowly dying, and I had no idea. And I'm doing all the things. I'm doing all like I'm just everything that I can do. Doing all the things, but I have no idea what's going on. She starts getting real lethargic though, and it's to the point where it's like I have no choice. Like she has to go see somebody, like because this is just not making sense. Because outwardly, her appearance, she looks so healthy. So it like she wasn't showing signs like she was sick for real. Because even when we got her to the vet, and mind you, it was hard for me because I was definitely I was just not having it. I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm feeling like I'm like I failed her. Like so, we get her to the
Doing all
vet
the
though.
things and they're not working. Like that's tough. And then they were
Yeah,
just like,
yeah, it hurt because like she was still alive and stuff by the time we got to the vet. The vet was going to like try to flush her system out and check up on her and stuff. But man, she passed away at the vet, and the vet even told us like he was pretty much after examining her. He was like, honestly, there would have been nothing we could have done for real, for real. Her passing away, like, is probably what was best for her. But the crazy thing is like for how much she had going on inside of her, it it didn't look like it. It was like I've seen chameleons with way less going on that are in terrible, like awful conditions. So it was like whatever you were doing, it's clear that you were taking care of her. Like that's very evident. Like, but
that's
she was pretty
that's
much
nice.
gone. Yeah,
That's
I was
nice though that
glad.
you that to know that what you were doing. I mean, because it seemed like you weren't doing enough and it was getting sicker, but
Yeah,
probably what you were doing is the only thing that was helping
keeping
at
her.
all.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was keeping her around for as long as she did stay
Like
around.
you probably were the only reason she was comfortable. That's really cool.
Yeah, it hurt me though. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt me. It
Well, of
did because
course.
like earlier that year, mind you, because like into that Sludge Knuckle, what's up, Sludge Knuckle? But earlier in 2000 and I mean same year, earlier that year, we had a stray dog, right? And because like it was about to be winter, we had picked her up earlier, like in 2024, in the end of December. She was pregnant. We did not know that, but she had puppies, and she had nine puppies in total. And it was just crazy. Like, it was like I've delivered puppies, like, I've had dogs for a good portion of my life. So I've delivered puppies and things before.
Mhm.
But when she had puppies, two of them like died. Yeah, two of them died during the birthing process, and then one died like 4 or 5 days later. So like that also like had me in my feelings earlier off in the year because I was just like, dang man. So when Mink died, I was just like, oh my god, I'm tired of these animals dying around me, man. I'm like, golly.
I
So
have I have my dog is we've had my dog for he's like 15 years old. We
oh
got him, he
wow.
was like 3 when we got him. We got him from Wayside and he's so funny because he's a coonhound basset mix. So he's like, let me see if I can get him to come out for a minute. You can see him. He's a funny looking dog. Oh, come here. Come here. Come here. He's an old grumpy guy. But look at this. Look at this. Let me see. Whoops. Oop. I didn't mean to hit that. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh
He's
my
like this
god.
normal sized dog,
Hey.
but he has these tiny little legs. So
Hey
he's super
there.
short and he has these really long ears. He's very goofy.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
we've had
awesome
him
though.
we've had him for, like 12 years or something now, and I know he's getting old and he's not getting up and down the stairs as well anymore, but he still does pretty well, I think, for his age, but that's coming for me. That's gonna suck. But
Yeah, yeah, that's
He's still doing really good right now, though. I mean, surprisingly. So I was really surprised actually when we figured out how old he actually is.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
that's great though, because I know, like, I think as dog owners, we might have we low key have a tendency of forgetting how old our dogs are, because it's not something like you really want to remember for real. You don't want to look at your dog and be like, it's getting close. Like, you don't want to do that.
Oh,
So I definitely
yeah.
understand that, because I have Bear, and if something happens to him, that's just gonna hurt.
Yeah. Well, then I have to jump off because dinner just came out of the oven. So I have to go eat dinner now. But it was
All
cool
right,
to
all
talk to you
right,
for a minute.
all right. You have a great night. You be safe out here.
You too. Good luck with the rest of your life.
Thank you.
Go back to what you were talking about. It was good. It was good stuff. Bye.
See you later. That's wonderful. Yeah, and yes, if y'all have mental health issues, I highly suggest and highly encourage you to hit Amy up. And I would go back to talking about the Bible, but that's pretty much the summary on the Bible. Like, anything else that you could really try to gather or learn from the Bible, eh, eh, it's more so a take it and leave it type of thing, because that's the most important understanding or comprehension to have from it. From my opinion, in my opinion. That brought me food, so I'm also trying to multitask, because Amy, like as Amy said, her dinner just came out the oven. Babs had just finished with this not too long ago. I gotta go get a drink though. Yeah, Amy is cool, and because y'all know I can be fairly abrasive. Um, Not to say I'm ever trying to be, but I know the way that how I come off, and I very much like unapologetically am who I am, even though like I'm cordial still. But if you don't wait, you might just take offense before you get to the part where it's like, oh, okay, like he's not trying to be offensive, but that's probably just how he is or just how he talks. Because Amy hit me up and she was asking about paying attention, and y'all know, like, after talking about it for a year, like if you were to message me a specific question about it, oh, I got you. I'll more than likely hear. You ask me a generalized question about it, I'm gonna be like, nah, and then I'll be like, there's this place, this place, this place. I'll point you in the correct direction. Um, but Amy sent me a message. I responded as myself, and I know for a fact that the way that that can come off can be very much abrasive. That is not how Amy took it at all. She was able to, she was able to allow me for the conversation to honestly go to where it needed to be for both of us to have a comprehension and understanding of what we needed to from the conversation. As, excuse me, y'all know, one, when it comes down to paying attention, I'm not working with nobody. Like, there's no us doing like joining people's sick day. There's no paying attention joining anything. In anything that's out there that wants to be like, oh, we're trying to fix the world too. You have to join us. We don't join you. That's not how paying attention works. So I get a lot of different messages. Hey man, I want to pay attention. It's like I'm more scared to try and fail again. I mean, paying attention, that's fairly easy. YouTube is the main priority. Like YouTube, playing YouTube videos in the background, or when you go to sleep at night, or just throughout the day when you're doing something else, or when you leave your home. That's the main like task. That's the main job. And that's basically it. That's y'all's main job. My main job now is also just kind of, one, paying y'all, like giving y'all the money for your attention, but outside of that is now just producing products and ensuring that we have the funding for me to produce the products from Paiding Attention Productions LLC to ensure that Paiding Attention is financed. You would need to download Phantom Wallet and Robinhood. I would say Coinbase, but Coinbase has high transfer fees. Robinhood has lower transfer fees. And Coinbase used to offer learning rewards, which is why we use Coinbase in the first place. But now it doesn't. So there's no real point in using Coinbase. What you wanted, Ted? I ain't got no food for you, baby. I ain't got no food for you. This is my food. This is my food. I'll give you something after I'm done, though. Is our... Oh, I apologize. The Forbidden Pro, if you got any questions, please ask your questions. But Amy's definitely cool. I don't know if I finished saying that about Amy. Amy's definitely cool. She did not take any offense to how abrasive I can come off at all in any way, shape, or form. And a lot of people do. But the way I probably like the reason I message, or my message might have been a little abrasive, is because of the way that I do respond to people when they ask me about Paiding Attention. Because usually they're either trying to get me to join, or they're asking me information that, yeah, like I've gone over in various different ways. So I'll just be like, no, like go there. Yes, download Robinhood and download another app called Phantom Wallet. You have a choice. You can either get in our Discord or our Telegram, but outside of that, that's really all you need. Because in this, I dropped the information for where to put your small investment in Telegram and in Discord. Then I make the drop, and then you just got to transfer your money out so you can get paid. That's literally. Like it requires, literally your payment system requires 3 apps, and that's it. And your job can require all social media platforms, but the main requirement is YouTube. The main requirement has always really been YouTube. Yeah, when I say small investment, we mean like no more than $5. Like, the only way your investment goes up to where how much you're going to be putting in to the drop so you can get paid, that investment amount only goes up depending on amount. No, Jesus. That amount only goes up depending upon how much money we have to drop. And or how many people are participating. It's those 2 factors. How many people are participating and how much money we have to drop. Those are the 2 factors that depend on how much you're going to be putting in for you to get paid. But again, it wouldn't be like put $10 here. It's nothing like that. You put a small, because we want the money to be able to redistribute itself. So a bunch of people putting in small investments that are relatively close to the same amount, nothing crazy. Then if I take a large lump sum of money and drop it in after y'all have all done that, then your small investments will all grow. So it doesn't require you to put in a big investment, because so long as you have your money in there before the drop is done, the large money being dropped in afterwards, then your money's going to grow. That's what we proved back in March and April. And no problem. If y'all have questions, please feel free to ask. And or if you want to jump in the box, jump in the box. I may go see what Babs is doing. And I may hop off of here in a bit just so I can finish really eating this food. I might try to take this live and like download it and upload it to YouTube or something, since there was a couple things that were said. It might be good to place on YouTube for other people to listen to. I don't know. Usually, honestly, I really don't know. I usually don't end up putting live recordings on YouTube. I feel like that's just, I might as well just get on YouTube live and do a live that way before I do that. It's educational. I mean, I was talking to Babs the other day about, since I just finished, like, and mind you, I stopped at January of this year. As far as like sorting stuff into playlists. A lot of the things that I've said, even when I talk about things on live, a lot of those things are things I've already said. Or just talk about, or just say them in a different way, or say them at a different point in time, because a lot of those things are still exceptionally relevant. And that's why I'll say things sometimes like, y'all talk about things that I'm bored with. So it's never been a thing to where it's like, if y'all have questions about those things, like, it's not a problem for me to answer, but that's why it's not a problem for me to answer. And that's why I guess I don't feel pressed about being like, oh, let me take this and then upload this to YouTube. I've already said it. I've said it 1,000 different ways. People just don't like it, for real. Oh, heck no, you in there creeping on me, too. Yeah, I'm gonna go in there, check on Bob's and finish eating. I might get back on here later, or I might get on YouTube. Appreciate you, Jarrett, for sticking around, staying in the box, messaging people as it came in. I'm not gonna lie, I probably won't be back on this guy later. But you might see another TikTok video before the end of the night. Y'all have a great night. Y'all be safe.